Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a romantic dinner at home, a delicious meal in the comfort of your home to catch up with your significant other. This could be for any occasion, Valentine's Day, anniversary, birthday celebration. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel before you go. For our dessert, we're going to be making chocolate covered strawberries, something really simple. I'm using bittersweet chocolate chip. Put it in the microwave to soften the chocolate. You want to work fast while the chocolate is hot. Feel free to drizzle some white chocolate or sprinkles to make them pretty. When you're done, pop them in the fridge until you are ready to serve. For our salad, we're going to be making apple cranberry walnut salad. We want to cut our apples, and you can still slice them even thinner when you're done doing this. And one quick tip is to put your apple slices into apple juice. That way your apples will maintain its color and won't get dark. Now let's make our dressing. We have 1 cup of apple juice, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey. You can use maple syrup as well. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/4 cup of olive oil, and done. It's easy to make and so delicious. It has that sweet and sour flavor. I will leave the exact measurements in the info box for you guys. So here we have feta cheese, dry cranberry, and chopped walnuts. We have our mixed greens, our homemade salad dressing, and our apple slices and apple juice. Today I'm sharing my mashed potato recipe. You want to make sure that you get the right potatoes. I'm using russet potatoes. You want to go ahead and wash them, peel them. Some people like to leave part of the skin, but if you want that smooth potatoes, you want to make sure to get all out. Cover them in cold water and bring to a boil for about 10 to 12 minutes. And make sure that water is lightly salted. Also, to make the cooking process faster, cut them in 4. Now, while the potatoes are boiling, I'm adding milk, cream, butter, and garlic to a small pot and bring it to a simmer. That way the cream will remain warm when I add it to the potatoes. Infusing the cream with garlic, it's optional, but it adds tons of flavor and it will take your mashed potato over the top. I'm going to use a potato ricer. You can use a hand blender as well for a more uniform texture. I didn't know about this gadget and it was a gift from my auntie. It's so convenient. Once the potatoes are mashed, I'm adding butter to coat the potatoes while they're still hot. and gradually adding your delicious cream until you get a smooth consistency. Taste for added salt and pepper. They are so creamy and flavorful. Once you try this recipe, you guys, trust me, you won't go back. I'm going to garnish with extra butter and scallions. Quick tip, I store my herbs in mason jars with a little bit of water, like the cilantro, the parsley, the scallions. It lasts longer in the fridge. For our main course, we're going to be making rich and tender lobster tails. So for the sauce, I am melting butter, adding fresh minced garlic to my melted butter. I'm using salted butter, that way I can use less salt. Like a teaspoon of black pepper, a dash of salt, and of course our fresh parsley. Make sure that you cut this as small as possible. Let's add our chopped parsley to our sauce. Not all of them, because we're going to be making our dipping sauce later. A teaspoon of dry rosemary. And 2 teaspoons of paprika. Make sure you stir this well so everything get incorporated. And the smell of that garlic, so delicious. So these are the lobster tails that I'm going to be working with. Make sure that you give it a good rinse. And now it's time to get your kitchen shears and start cutting through the lobster tail all the way down to the base of the tail. And it's easier than it looks. You want this to be a nice cut. Make sure you don't cut the meat. You can do this with a knife as well. Now gently I'm going to pull out the meat from the shell. And now with my fingers I'm going to pull it apart from the shell from each side. You can do this with a spoon too. One part done. Let's do the other side. Really gentle. And this is the hardest part, just trying to take it out of the shell. Now I'm detaching it from the shell. I'm going to pull out the meat to give it that restaurant butterfly shape presentation. Just be gentle not to ruin the meat. Close the shell and rest down the meat. I'm going to cut a little bit here at the end. Remove any membrane. And this one is done. Ready to be seasoned. Now we're going to add our sauce. Make sure to coat it really well. Also pull up the meat and make sure that you season it in the back too. We're going to bake it at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. How to know when it's done? The meat will turn opaque. You won't see that translucent. And now we're going to do our dipping sauce. So melted butter, a garlic clove minced, the remaining parsley, and lemon juice. While our lobster tails are in the oven, we are going to saute our asparagus. These are so easy to make. It has tons of vitamins. So we're going to cut the roots. And of course, they're previously washed and ready to get in the pan. Add your olive oil enough to coat the bottom of the pan. If you have a cast iron pan, I recommend you to use it instead of this one. Make sure that that oil is really hot before you add your asparagus. Now I'm going to add salt and pepper to taste. Let's add the butter and the minced garlic. I use only 1 clove. Let's shake it a little bit, getting that nice glaze from the butter and the garlic. You want them to have a little bite to them. They don't need to be mushy. Now let's add our shallot onions and our white wine. We are letting all those flavors infuse themselves, and at this point your asparagus are done. Now that I'm about to serve, we're going to do our salad, adding the chopped walnuts, the dried cranberries, the feta cheese. Mix it up a little bit before you add your dressing and the apple slices. Add the delicious dressing, and the remaining you can store in the fridge. That's why I like to use mason jars to mix. Now let's set up our table with a nice bubbly. You can, for seafood, you can use white wine. Make it a little special. I transfer my lobster tails into a serving platter. Add some lemon wedges, our dipping sauce, and our parsley. Then it's our delicious mashed potatoes and our asparagus with a bright green, not dark and still firm. And this is all for this video, you guys. I hope you got inspired to create a delicious meal in the comfort of your home. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.